Hey there folks, and welcome back to the Gamer's Grotto. Tonight we're going to be playing some more of Star Trek Resurgence on the PS5. I don't normally do this, but because there was a lot of interest for part 1, I figured I'd go back into part 2. And I figured I'd go into part 2 and we maybe just continue this game until it ends, because it is a really long game. And there is a lot of twists and turns, and it gets really interesting as it goes on. So I think that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to play part 2 of this game, and we're just going to continue this throughout the rest of the week. And we're just going to do one whole go of this. Like I said, I don't normally do this, but we're going to do that. We're going to just keep carrying on with this game, because I've already beaten it under a separate account, and it's really good. So without further ado, let's continue where we last left off with our last stream with more of Star Trek Resurgence on the PS5.
Gravitational harmonics failing to resolve. Warp bubble stability degrading. Increase output to maximum.
Increasing warp output to maximum.
It's happening again.
It is evident that presently the Resolute cannot achieve warp propulsion.
Since our diagnostics rule out any problems with our warp systems or anything about the ship, the problem appears to be the fabric of space itself.
Space itself? You're saying something about this region of space prevents warp travel?
Prevents it, or can't sustain it.
However improbable, that appears to be the case.
We need to know more.
Otherwise, it'll be an extended stay in the Hotari system.
Well, couldn't we slowboat it out of here at impulse speed?
It may come to that, but we don't know how far this warp dead zone extends. Captain Solano is on his way back from the negotiations, and I want to have some answers for him when he gets here.
Indeed. Given the facts at hand, we may be able to deploy subspace probes around the ship to construct a clearer picture of the phenomenon.
Around the ship. I'll prep a shuttle.
Setting up a waypoint at a distance roughly corresponding to the edge of our warp field. When we get there, I'll deploy the first probe.
Alright, so this is where we last left off from our last stream. And we're basically having to fly the shuttle around the U.S.S. Resolute and basically launch probes. Let's get going here. We want to possibly avoid the impulse engines, or the warp nacelles, I mean.
Commander Westbrook, the Resolute systems are calibrated to receive the probe's readings. We are standing by to reproduce the warp field collapse after the first probe is deployed.
Thank you, Mr. Chovak. We'll be in position shortly.
And, Mr. Diaz, do take care in piloting the shuttlecraft. Now is
They're-
not the time to indulge in the human penchant for joyriding.
This is not Grand Theft Trek.
Chovak probably isn't such a fun guy to work for, huh?
Yeah, I don't take it personally. Jesus.
I just don't take it personally. At least I try not to.
That's a very mature answer. Shows a positive attitude on your part. Remind me of it when I start complaining to you about the ship's new first officer.
So you'll notice that I'm kind of like all over the place when I'm piloting that thing. That's not actually me. So because we're in an ion storm, the shuttle is being knocked about. And so we kind of have to keep it away from the asteroids. while we're being
This
knocked
is far
around.
enough. This is far enough. Transporting the...
Now, as I said before in the first playthrough, there is some audio glitches in the
First
game.
probe is deployed.
The
Understood.
developers
We are
know
reading
about
it.
it,
We are about to
and
replay
they
the
are
simulation.
releasing a patch at the end of the week to fix it. Aside from that, that's the only issues with the game.
Problem?
I just can't get a handle on her. Commander Rydek. She rejected my plan to use a deflector pulse against the storm surge. But on the other, she did listen to my advice and use the whole polarity trick to get you through that excursion alive. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the new XO. I'm sure she's a fine officer, even if we don't see eye to eye. But she didn't go through what the rest of us did. You know that. And it's hard to figure out why she'd be the one Solano chose instead of, well, one of us.
I've heard some good things. You should at least give her a chance.
I'll take that under advisement.
Test is running. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1, mark.
Whoa. All right, that is definitely a problem with the fabric of space. We need to get another probe out there. With 2 points of data, the Resolute and the probe, we've managed to get an interference pattern. I'm setting a waypoint to a particularly strong area of interference. We'll deploy the second probe there.
Alrighty.
Listen, I'm gonna give you a piece of advice I wish someone had given me. Make sure you're never just one thing. And don't get so focused on what's in front of your face that you lose sight of the big picture. Before Rydek showed up, the captain pulled me into his ready room and told me he didn't think I had the people skills to be first officer.
You don't.
What a load of crap.
You don't have people skills.
I mean,
you hate everybody.
Said that about Krizia. Sure.
I appreciate the advice, Commander. I'll make sure I keep my options open.
I don't need to tell you how to operate. You're already well on your way.
The
You're a
worst kind
capable
of first
engineer,
officer.
Good in the field. Keep up the good work.
Just hates
Who
the
knows?
entire crew.
A solid jack of all departments like you could be Commander-in-Chief of Starfleet one day.
Commander-in-Chief of
Admiral
Starfleet.
Jellicoe started as a shuttle pilot. And there are places to go in the enlisted ranks, too.
No offense, but you are the worst
pretty
kind of a
happy where I
person
am.
to tell me what
You
I
must
can
be a
and can't
glutton
be.
for punishment. Lieutenant Commander Chovak has been known to take decades to warm up to people.
Alright. Almost there. Drop off the second probe. There we go.
Here, this is close enough. Stop the engines. Deploying the probe. Westbrook to Commander Chovak. We're ready for another sampling of data.
Very good. Running the simulation again. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1, mark.
There it is again.
I saw it. It seems to be directional.
Well, what about the scans? Anything?
Here's the readings in relation to our local space. We've got the Resolute, Otari Prime, and the probes.
All this interference is overloading the sensor buffers. We're gonna have to triangulate the sensors manually.
Alright. And this is what I love about this game, is the fact that you get to really mess around with a lot of cool shit. So right now we just need to scan.
We got something.
Okay.
These markers indicate peaks in the gravimetric interference patterns.
Let's see if I can find some more.
Should be right all near each other. Should have one more. Maybe up here. There we go.
Hold up. This is coming from the moon.
A beam that blocks warp travel.
Aimed right at us.
Someone is doing this intentionally. I don't know how they're doing it. This is like nothing I've ever seen.
Why would they be doing this? We came here to help these people. And now we're getting hit by some warp-killing weapon?
Now, look here. It's the current readings of the ion storm.
These concentrations... they line up with the interference pattern. The storm and this beam, they're coming from the same place.
Carter, whatever petty local conflict brought us here, it's just a small part of something much bigger. Presently, we don't have an explanation for how they're doing this. One thing is clear. This is no fluke.
Thank you, Mr. Westbrook. I want a full briefing when I'm back on board. Solano out. A targeted weapon that inhibits warp travel. Coming from the moon Tau.
That would explain the difficulties my shuttle encountered. More importantly, the tenor of the Hotari during the negotiations.
And here I thought the Illidians would be the problem. Coming to peace talks in a warship. This wasn't supposed to be so complicated.
For all their posturing, every indication is that the Illidians are afraid of the Hotari. They didn't bring their warship as a threat. They brought it because they're scared.
From everything we witnessed, I would say that is highly likely.
But what are they afraid of?
Tylus, the Hotari representative, said she thought they found something in the mines. Galvin and Sidron brought it back to the palace, but they're keeping it under tight security. She's going to investigate it. I gave her my tricorder. I expect she'll contact us soon.
You found an ally.
Why would Tylus help us? Go behind her people's back? It's a fair question, considering.
Out of all of them, she's the one who seemed to genuinely appreciate that the Federation was involved. She believes in us, and I think we can believe in her.
That may be true.
She's certainly more likely to help than the other Hotari we've met.
That raises another question. Specifically, what do the other Hotari have to gain in bringing us here, only to make this hostile maneuver against us? There must be some motivation.
Unless they changed their minds between when they asked and when we got here.
Given their indifference to the negotiations, and what we now know about this warp-disrupting weapon, it's almost as if they want to start a war. And Sidron was convinced the only thing the Illidians respect is force.
I would say he's right about that. But at least they know when to hold back.
But that does not explain why they would turn their aggressions against us.
I don't think the Illidians know what's really down on that moon either.
Major Armintas said the revolt defied explanation. That the Hotari miners somehow harness the energy of the storm.
Harness the energy of the storm?
Doing that is beyond even our capability.
So is a weapon that disrupts warp travel.
There have been civilizations and entities, both past and present, far more technologically advanced than the Federation.
The Illidians and Hotari don't fall into that category.
But that is all the more reason to investigate further.
Commander Rydek, sorry to interrupt. We've received an urgent call from Hotari. The Queen's advisor, Tylus, has asked to speak with you.
Put her through.
Galvin and Sidron are still with the Queen. I've enlisted help to gain access to the room they have under guard. I don't have much time.
I'm not supposed to leave my post.
It's only for a moment. I so appreciate your help.
I found something. I'm sending you a scan.
Got it. Tylus, if we needed to gain access to the mines on Tau, is that something you could help us with?
I suppose it wouldn't be easy, but
I have to go.
Tylus.
Can we reconnect?
Sorry, Captain. We've lost all contact.
We can only hope she escaped without harm.
It was hard to tell.
I'm the one who got her into this. If something happens to her, it's my fault.
She's one of the Queen's closest advisors. I'm sure she'll be fine. Assuming the Queen isn't part of this. Let's see the scan of whatever the hell that was.
Tylus suspects this came from the mines on Tau.
It appears to be of ancient origin, but the markings are unfamiliar.
We can run a full analysis when we get back to the Resolute. But if this came from the mines, then it might be the key to how they got the upper hand against the Illydians.
Then we have to go into the mines.
The Federation would not allow that. We were, after all, sent here to be a neutral party in a peace negotiation. However, we could demonstrate that the Hotari have acted in bad faith, which would enable us to investigate the mines on Tau with full justification. But of course, we would need conclusive proof before taking action. Otherwise, it could put us in a difficult position.
Whatever this artifact is may be proof enough. At least to satisfy the Federation.
Especially if we can show the Hotari are controlling the warp disruption. And targeting the Resolute.
We may have a better understanding once we analyze the device. But a mission to the mines, covert or otherwise, is not out of the question. And I will handle the Federation.
As I was telling Carter, I want all the data I can get on this warp problem. And the negotiating team's shuttle has been recording data all the way back from Hotari. Even better than our probes. So pull the sensor and engine ISOs from the Melville when it sets down.
Will do.
I'll join you and Chovak down in engineering to run another analysis after the briefing.
I didn't like this warp problem when we thought it was some astronomical anomaly. And I like it a hell of a lot less now that we know someone is doing it to us. How does it work? What do we even do about it?
Jeez, could you possibly hit that down on the table any harder? Oh my god, it's not even that heavy.
Damage on the way.
Alright.
That ionic interference scored the hull plating. Might be some micro welds. Let's try pulling together.
All right.
3, 2, 1. It won't budge. Gotta be the storm damage. We need to... Welcome back.
Miranda.
Any excitement down on the surface?
Excitement? No. Nothing like that.
Hey, can you hand me the EJ7 interlock? From the toolbox.
I don't know what that is.
Not much use for one on a security detail, huh? Carter?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Okay, that's not showing off. That's just being a douche. That was stupid as hell.
We'll use a couple of the panel.
Here, I'll help.
We've got this.
Open up and say ah.
Thanks for the hand. We have to get these isolinear chips down to engineering.
No problem. You really know everything about these ships, don't you? The tools, the systems. Like a walking Starfleet technical manual.
Well, I wouldn't say everything, but I know my stuff.
I can see that.
Come on, start pulling chips.
I want to do something really quick here, and I've noticed this in a lot of games where the music, I don't know, my music is at a decent volume. All right, sometimes music in games kind of drowns out the voice, and I prefer to have it lower than the actual voice because it can drown out the speech, which I hate in games. All right, let's take out these isolinear chips. How are you that klutzy?
What's this?
Some kind of crystal formation?
Whoa. This substance is a quantized spin crystallization of hydrogen, carbon, and lithium. It's emitting tetrametric pulses at an interval of 3.8422 seconds.
Quantized crystallization isn't natural. I mean, it's only theoretical as a means to engineer matter on a subatomic level. What's it doing in there?
Wait. Regulation 364, subsection 9.
What?
Regulation 364, subsection 9 orders that in the case of an unknown foreign substance infiltrating a sealed system, it will be placed in secure confinement before further examination. Retrieve a containment module.
Don't you think we're more equipped to deal with whatever this is?
No. Before anything else, this is a security issue. You don't even know what this is.
Which is why we need to study it.
Once it's contained.
This is another piece of the puzzle we're trying to put together. We should be investigating it.
And you can. In the containment lab. But protocol is protocol. I can't make an exception just for you.
I'm still going to report these crystals to Commander Westbrook when we send the shuttle data.
And I will inform my superiors. I'm taking this just as seriously as you are. But I overheard talk about the warp disruption on the shuttle. Now these crystals? Maybe this situation is more than we can handle with just a science vessel. We could trigger a distress call, get Starfleet to send more ships. Or I could send a message to my old CO on the Adirondack. Get some combat-tested vessels. We shouldn't do this alone.
We're at the edge of the quadrant. Help isn't just gonna pop over like we're in Sector 001.
Wouldn't hurt to try.
You talk like you've never had your backs up against a wall before. This is Starfleet. We solve our own problems.
Okay, stand back. Get this to the containment lab. We'll get it set up for you. I'll let you know when it's safely confined.
Oh, we'll be there.
Last thing you want is to study this down in main engineering and have it explode next to the warp core. Almost forgot.
Subtle. Yeah.
Can't have that.
Very subtle.
For a second, I thought she'd gone cold on you. Like she might have changed her mind. But I guess this whole situation has her spooked. Maybe she knows more than us? Or it's because this is all happening so fast? But she usually doesn't scare easy.
Yeah. There was something a little off about it.
Like that talk about sending a distress call? That was pretty out there. She was probably just thinking out loud. I'm sure she'll come to her senses. This mission has enough complications stacking up.
Now, we'll get through it. You, me, and Miranda too.
Commander Rydek was able to work behind the scenes during the negotiations and made contact with a representative from the Hotari delegation named Tylus. She mentioned an unusual artifact of unknown origin being held under tight security within the Hotari Palace, which she believes came from the mines on Tau. Now, this artifact might have a connection to the revolt, to the storm, and to the warp disruption we now know has been targeted at the Resolute. Commander Rydek, if you want to take it from here.
Of course. Tylus managed to infiltrate the heavily guarded location within the palace and sent us these scans using my tricorder. It appears to be some sort of control panel, possibly connected to the warp disruption weapon originating on Tau. Of particular interest is this symbol, which we couldn't identify the origin of.
The Federation database has records from a vast number of civilizations. If anyone from Starfleet has come across this before, the system should recognize it.
Cross-referencing with Federation records.
Displaying symbols from Federation database with a 90% probability of match or higher. Select a symbol to further analyze.
So we basically have to get the symbol on the right into the symbol on the left. So we need to find something that will fit. That might be it, actually. Nope. All right. I think that's that it? All right. We'll get it eventually. That's probably it. Okay. All right. Oh.
99.2% match.
Got it.
So, what are we looking at?
The design and composition indicate this is a glyph associated with the ancient Khan Empire. Their civilization collapsed over 600,000 years ago, but once spanned millions of systems with a population numbering in the trillions.
Fascinating. The Takan were once the most advanced, most powerful civilization in the galaxy.
Is it possible the Hotari found Takan technology?
I wonder if they even know what they have.
Our knowledge of the Takan is limited. I have only encountered passing references to them.
Actually, I've heard of the Takan.
You have?
Quite impressive, Commander.
Computer, summarize the Enterprise D's discovery of a Takan outpost.
On stardate 41386.4, the U.S.S. Enterprise D, under the command of Captain Jean-Luc Picard, discovered a Takan outpost in the Delphi Ardus. According to the mission summary, an unbreakable energy-draining field was deployed against the Enterprise and a Ferengi ship. The Enterprise was only able to escape after negotiating their release with an entity known as Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takan Empire.
Unbreakable energy draining field. It starts to make sense.
What else is there?
There's a lot here. Let's take it piece by piece.
Select the aspect you wish to learn more about.
The technology to capture and hold the Federation flagship would have to be unbelievably powerful. Computer, what else can you tell us about the energy-draining field the Takan used?
The Enterprise D was unable to break free on its own. The precise nature of the technology was never fully understood. Only that the crystalline technology used was beyond the comprehension of then-current Starfleet science.
The engineering team found a quantized spin crystal formation in the shuttle you took to Hotari. They registered tetrametric radiation coming from it.
We have Takan technology on board right now?
We might. I'll run a full analysis in the containment lab.
What sort of planet is Delphi Ardu 4?
Delphi Ardu 4 is an M-class planet, a barren rocky world with little to no vegetation and frequent ion storms. The giant crystals that grow there absorb energy, but it is not understood how they do so. The entire Delphi Ardu system, consisting of 11 planets, was considered completely uninhabited until the encounter with Portal 6-3.
Frequent ion storms. That can't just be a coincidence. There appears to be some sort of restriction order from Starfleet. Computer, explain this restriction.
A Starfleet directive similar to General Order 7 forbids entering the Delphi Ardu system or attempting to make contact with Portal 6-3.
Starfleet doesn't throw up a no trespassing sign for just anybody.
I suppose it makes sense considering what happened to the Enterprise D.
Someone from the Takan Empire is actually still around.
Or at least was, 16 years ago.
Computer, what other information do you have on Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takan Empire?
The entity known as Portal 6-3 is of an unknown nature. A biped humanoid, he was unaware that the Takan Empire no longer existed at the time of the encounter. He was able to control the crystal-based technology of the Takan outpost through apparent telepathic means. It was by his choice that the Enterprise was released from the energy-draining field after Commander William T. Riker of the Away team argued on behalf of both Starfleet and the Ferengi.
Telepathic control of their technology.
As I have said, they were the most advanced civilization in the galaxy.
The Illidians should have crushed the revolt. But if the Hotari have Takan technology and can control it, see why they're willing to negotiate peace. For all we know, this could be just the beginning. And we're up against something greater than we can imagine.
There's only one way to find out. We need to see what's down there for ourselves.
I might be able to help with that. We've been able to triangulate the source of the ionic interference and warp disruption to a specific mine on Tau. Engineering used the latest data from your shuttle to pinpoint its origin. There.
So we know where to look.
Commander Rydek's right. We need to know what's down there, what the Hotari are hiding, to better understand what we're up against, and to neutralize it if we can.
Captain, embarking on a mission to the Hotari moon would not be viewed favorably by either side. However, given the circumstances, we are entirely within our rights to defend ourselves.
I just want to make sure this doesn't blow up in our faces. Which is why I'm thinking of sending Commander Rydek on a covert mission to Tau. Assuming you're up to the task. It would require absolute secrecy. And obviously, it's not without risk.
I'm ready for action, Captain. Just say the word and I'll be there.
I'll admit, I wish I could go myself. I'm hoping Tylus can accompany you. The priority is to avoid detection. It's a calculated risk. The last thing we need is to get caught and then blamed for violating our neutrality, and aggravating an already tense situation. We can't afford any mistakes, which is why I've chosen you.
Tylus will be essential to my success. Not only her knowledge of the mines, but her ability to gain access, particularly now that we know which mine we need to get into.
Make sure she understands the need to keep this covert.
She's not going to want her people to know about this.
Get in touch with Tylus and make the necessary arrangements as discreetly as possible.
Bridge to Captain Solano. The Illidians have moved additional ships to the edge of the Hotari system. Current heading is straight for the homeworld.
Understood.
It would seem we no longer have the luxury of waiting. In that case, may I suggest you and I return to Hotari Prime? Doing so will provide Commander Rydek as much time as possible to complete her mission.
Agreed. We'll hail the Queen's delegation from my ready room. We all know what we need to do. Dismissed.
Alrighty, so we're going down to the mines and figuring out what the hell is going on.
Petty Officers Diaz and Ed Solar, where is the crystal formation that you found in the shuttle? I have tasked Ensign Calloway with performing a full analysis of the tetrametric pulses.
Security brought it to the containment lab.
I was just there. They don't know anything about it. Security never checked it in.
Miranda never
What?
got it.
She's the one that had the crystal formation?
Yeah, her and the rest of the security detail from the negotiations.
Diaz, Tamaris.
Try her again.
She stole the crystal.
Commander Westbrook to Petty Officer Miranda Maris. Respond.
Something's not right.
She's still on the ship. She has to be.
Computer, locate Petty Officer Miranda Maris.
Petty Officer Miranda Maris is in the isolinear storage array on Deck 5.
I'll go find her.
Good.
I am sure Mr. Diaz can attend to this on his own.
Someone improperly pulled these isolinear chips. Who did this?
She's literally ripping out every isolinear chip. Not suspicious at all. Totally not.
Oh, it's just you.
Uh-huh.
I'm busy right now. Why don't you come back later?
Where's the crystal, you stupid?
I called you on the comm badge. Twice. Commander Westbrook, too. Why didn't you answer?
Oh, I guess I was just caught up in my work.
Yeah, that's believable.
But I'm through here, so I can't stay and chat. I have other things to do. Sorry you came all this way for nothing.
Yeah, where are the crystals that you were supposed to take to security? Like...
Well, hold on a second. Commander Westbrook said the crystal
Something's
formation
off
we
here.
found in the shuttle never made it to the containment lab. He sent me to find you.
I don't know why he'd say that. I brought the crystals to the lab myself. Whatever he told you, he got it wrong. All I know is where I left them.
If that's the case, let's both go down there and find them. It's that simple.
I don't have time for that. I have work to do. Look, I appreciate that you came to check on me, but I'm fine. You worry too much. We're on a starship. Nothing's gonna happen to me here.
I'm worried because you're acting strange. One minute you're citing regulation to take the crystals, and now you don't seem to care that they've gone missing. And what are you even doing in here?
Will you drop it? I don't like being interrogated, Carter.
Hey, wait up!
I'm getting some very mixed signals from you right now. I'm sorry. I'm under a lot of stress right now. Just tell Chovak or whoever I don't know where the crystals are, and let me go about my business. I know we have some things to figure out. I don't have time to stand around and debate with you.
If you won't give me a straight answer, you can tell them yourself.
This doesn't concern you, so I'm good with that.
Miranda, hold on!
No. Get out of my way.
So I see you found each other.
You were taking so long, the commander sent us to see what the problem was. Diaz, you were sent here with specific orders, and fighting your crewmate wasn't one of them. What the hell is going on here?
Let's just let them explain.
I'd like to hear that, because I know what it looks like.
Ask her! She was doing something with this. Copying all kinds of data.
This drive is unauthorized.
There are ISOs all over the floor.
And that's why I was in here, investigating this situation. And when Carter came looking for me, we got our wires crossed. It wasn't anything more than that.
Even if that was true, it still doesn't answer what happened to the crystal formation that she took. And she isn't helping.
I can't tell you what I don't know. I brought them where they belonged, and that's where I left them.
I don't know what's going on here, but I think we need to call it into security. She can explain herself in the brig.
Hold on a minute. We don't need to put this on anyone's permanent record. Miranda, maybe you're feeling out of sorts, and we should head to sickbay so the doc can check you out?
Yeah, I haven't felt right since I came back from Hotari. I think I should see the doctor.
You two know her? If you really think she's not well, we can take her to sickbay first. But what I know is this is a security breach, and we should treat it as such.
Please, just let me go see the doctor.
She did have a bumpy ride back on the shuttle. Come on, Carter. We should get her taken care of.
You better be sure about this.
Yeah, let's take her to sickbay.
Let's take her to sickbay.
And, we'll see first.
It's better than
if
the brig,
she's lying, then she can go in the brig.
Yeah, it is.
Fine. Get checked out by medical. You two go with her. I'll put this back together.
foliage on Tau resembles underwater plant life on Earth. The universe is full of mysteries. Rydek here.
This is Zermatt. Any trouble getting to the surface?
I'm really starting to miss transporters.
As long as this storm is around, you'd better learn to light shuttles. But if you can find the cause of the interference, we might be able to get back to transporting.
As if I needed another incentive. We both know there's a lot more than that riding on this.
Fair enough. You'll need to get in and out of the mine undetected, so I hope Minister Tylus can help in that regard.
So do I.
And to keep this covert, we'll refrain from contact unless absolutely necessary.
Understood. Rydek out.
The hell ship is that?
The ionic interferences coming from underground. I should find a safer way down there.
Alright, well there's my contact. So let's get down there and meet up with her.
I saw your shuttle take off. Hopefully no one else did. It's good to see you. Even under these unfortunate circumstances.
When you called to give us a scan, it sounded like they caught you. I was worried you'd been hurt.
It was nothing I couldn't handle.
Lead the way. I'll fill you in on what we've learned about the situation.
Follow me.
The device Galvin and Sidron brought back from the mines is being used to control some sort of warp disruption weapon that has the Resolute trapped in Hotari space. According to our readings, the power source for that device is on this moon, at the specific coordinates I sent you.
That sounds impossible. But explains the rumors of the Hotari controlling the ionic storm.
We strongly suspect the device was created by an ancient empire known as the Takan.
The Takan?
Once the most powerful civilization in the galaxy. But they've been gone for over
So it looks like the camera angle,
years.
or the camera is screwing up here. So that looks like another glitch that they have to deal with.
Which is why I need proof. If we find
but all in all, realistically, the game is not that buggy. It has sound issues here and there, and little graphic issues here and there.
We're almost there.
But for the most part, it's not bad. It seems to be polished enough. It shouldn't have had any of these glitches, to be honest, considering it was delayed multiple times. But, you know, it happens, I guess.
That's the mine?
Prospect 614 North, Subdivision 20.
It's enormous.
Just one of the thousands across Tau. The pride of Hotari.
How do we get inside?
The structure that circles the mine has entry points for transporting equipment into the lower levels. They're guarded, but nothing I can't get past using my authority.
Well, That's good to hear.
As long as you can avoid being seen, I should be able to talk my way past any miner. And provide a little distraction for you in the process.
How do I avoid being seen?
You don't use the door.
I mean, yeah, that's normally how stealth works.
How
You just
dare you!
walk in the front
Don't
door.
you know who I am? I am Tylus Altaris, Minister of Diplomatic Affairs.
That's not...
The Queen would be furious to hear you try to deny me entry.
the Queen. But I just...
You just what? Just now realize the trouble you've made for yourself? And who exactly do you think you're going to report this to? Because I'll be reporting it as well, to someone much further up the ladder. You have no authority here. Do you understand who pays your wage? I can inform the Queen directly of this incident.
There's no
You'll
need
regret
for...
everything you've said here today. You should have opened the doors the second I appeared before you.
That's not the protocol. I didn't know
Each second you delay my entry will be recorded, processed, and permanently marked on your record. I can't believe this. Does your brain function? Do you speak our tongue?
Minister, I have orders.
How could a fellow Hotari not understand this? You're digging your own grave. I've reached the end of my patience. Escort me to the maintenance bay.
I told you, I can't just...
Now.
Someone takes their breaks up here. Maybe the same guard who left that window unlocked.
Lead the way.
I suppose the view is nice. Not going that way. Force field. Looks like it was installed recently. No safe way around it. Okay. Let's get a look inside you.
EM field prevents solid matter from passing through. That makes sense. Let's do the different modes. What is that? Receiver. Signal receiver that controls field activation. Emitter. Component focusing the pattern of the force field.
Full system access. Let's see if I can just... Bingo. Better hurry.
Okay, so
sure
it
how
looks
long she
like
can keep
the
busy.
camera is colliding with certain things in the environment, which is causing it to bang back and forward like that. So that is definitely something that can be fixed with a patch. Wait a minute. We've got... Okay.
Something in here is keeping that door closed.
Hey.
Hey Aaron, how are you doing? Just playing Star Trek Resurgence, and actually this game is a lot of fun. We did about 3 hours worth yesterday, and we're just continuing where we left off. Honestly, I'm gonna have to say it's probably one of the best Star Trek games I've played in a very, very long time. very true to the source material, and it takes place in the Next Generation universe.
PlayStation Showcase.
I actually never watched it, but I did see some of the trailers of the games that are coming out. Some of the gameplay, not trailers, gameplay footage, and I'm impressed. Not gonna lie, I'm impressed for the future PS5 games, for sure. Data storage contains records of personnel with access to this facility.
Spider-Man looks amazing.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, like that's a definite buy for me. Like I mean, I love Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales, so I'm definitely getting Spider-Man 2. And Wolverine looks pretty good too, so I'm looking forward to that one as well, which is also being made by Insomniac Games. DNA processor, component that processes DNA scans of those that attempt to enter the door. Does not store records. Used only as a trigger for activation. Only have one more thing here to scan, I think.
And the handheld looks pretty decent.
Yeah, no, there is a lot of great details in this game. Power regulation prevents solid matter from passing through.
Got it. Should remove the security check on the door.
All right, so that was okay. So that was just a security console. So that should actually allow me to bypass this door down here.
Any games you brought recently?
Any games I bought recently? Well, yeah, Star Trek Resurgence, this one, which just came out yesterday for the PS4 and PS5, made by former Telltale Games employees who now work for a new company called Dramatic Labs. So this game is actually brand new, just came out yesterday, as I said, and it's actually really damn good. Great adventure game with action elements.
You got Dead Island 3 and new Star Wars.
You mean Dead Island 2? There is no Dead Island 3. But yes, I have Dead Island 2, and I have Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Correct. I haven't streamed them yet, but I do own them. One thing at a time. I plan to stream them eventually, at some point down the line, but not at the very moment.
I didn't come here to educate an imbecile on royal protocol.
Of course not, Minister.
So I will be about my business here, and you will take yourself out of my sight. There you are.
You really let that guy have it.
It worked, didn't it? I'm used to having to throw my weight around. Hard to get anyone to listen.
Grand Theft Auto 6 might come out next year.
I didn't know you had it in you.
There's a lot you don't know about me. Underestimate me at your peril.
The catwalks were booby-trapped.
Galvin and Sidron have gone to great lengths to keep out the uninvited. Well, we're inside. Where do you want to start?
The ionic interference is coming from below us. We need to go deeper.
That lift goes down, at least to the changeover station. But we can't use it without DNA authorization from one of the guards.
I have an idea, but we need a few samples of DNA from the miners who work here.
Samples?
Fingerprints, sweat, blood.
Which will trick the machine and get us control of the lift.
That's the theory. Let's test it.
Yeah, no, that is the speculation, for sure, that Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out next year. Whether that's true or not, we don't really know, because Rockstar Games hasn't given us any new information. There is a whole bunch of trailers and stuff, but they're all fan-based. They're all fan-made trailers. There hasn't been anything official from Rockstar Games. Therefore, we don't really know anything at this point, do we?
This facility doesn't seem...
It'd be nice if it comes out next year, but I'm not holding my breath. Because Rockstar usually lets us know in advance if something's coming out the following year or whatever. They haven't really done that. So, I'm going to... My speculation is it's not going to be next year. That it's going to be perhaps a little later.
There's DNA on this console, but it's only partial. I can't use this.
Maybe because we're outside.
The weather out here could dilute any DNA samples.
What about inside that structure? That's where the workers spend most of their time.
Good idea.
Is it just me, or did her voice just completely change? She did not sound like that 2 seconds ago. It sounds like they just went... They just... Did they just use a different voice actor for her voice all of a sudden? That was a bit odd. Her voice was a lot deeper than that. Alright, well, whatever. DNA samples.
That is a lot of DNA. I should look for the most concentrated spots.
There is Gamescom happening in August.
Oh, fair enough. So you think that they'll be ready for then? Maybe. Who knows?
Hygiene clearly isn't a priority down here.
Hygiene isn't a priority. No, well, it's a mine. It's a stinky, hot mine. What do we got here? Oh, there is a lot of shit here.
Hotari must be tough on the inside, too. If they eat in here, it's likely there's some DNA in the room.
I mean...
About 3 big announcements.
Should be some DNA on this lamp.
Not concentrated enough. I should try somewhere else.
Okay.
Almost looks like coffee. Almost. I'll have some Ractigino when I get back to the ship.
Hell yes. We will have some Ractigino. We will celebrate. We will celebrate our glorious victory.
There's gotta be stable DNA here.
Oh, hello.
Maybe Game Awards they might happen to. They usually put out announcements.
Yeah, that's true. They could very well do that. Cup. Saliva residue. Hotari saliva is viscous, to accommodate their harsh diet. Hotari food. Dental print of a Hotari, male, 24 cycles in age. Utensil. Hotari food is often dense, allowing use of a single pronged utensil.
That's a stable DNA sample. It's only partial, but a few more should do it.
What is your big games you looking forward to?
Some kind of glowing mineral being used as a light source. Might want one of these for my cabin, actually.
Well, definitely start, would help if I, okay, definitely Spider-Man 2. Like, that's a definite. I'm really excited for that one. The Wolverine game coming out. Avatar, the Avatar game based on the James Cameron movie. I'm interested in that.
I can use this.
Oh. Hotari fingerprint. Residual oil deposits reveal a distinctive pattern of ridges and valleys, consistent with a fingerprint belonging to a Hotari male, approximately 36 cycles in age.
Good. That's another I could use. Just need one more sample.
One more sample of DNA? There's got to be something... Nope. What is that? Hatari mining pick. Primitive by Starfleet standards. Tool for excavating dilithium. Hatari take advantage.
Layers of Fear that's coming out in June.
Hatari take advantage of their naturally high strength to break apart solid rock. It's not really a DNA scan. Yeah, no, well, isn't that a remake of Layers of Fear, though? Like, it's okay, I suppose, but, it's just odd that they would remake Layers of Fear in Unreal Engine 5. Like, I mean, it's Layers of Fear has been out for a long time. Like, it's an old game. I guess it'd be cool to play a remake of it, but I don't know. If it was Layers of Fear 3, that'd be cool, but it's only Layers of Fear remade.
Not enough. Gotta keep looking. This'll work.
Hatari fingerprint. Residual oil deposits
I thought
reveal.
It was a new game.
No, Layers of Fear is already on PlayStation. It's on PS4, PC, Xbox One. No, Layers of Fear is old, man. Layers of Fear has already been out for a long time, and then they're just remaking it. It's a horror game. But it's not really. It's not really jump scary or anything like that. It's psychological. So there's a lot of mind fuckery. It's good. I have it. It's good. It's weird though. It's very weird. Residual
it's
oil.
Stupid that died.
Residual oil. Residual oil deposits reveal a distinctive pattern of ridges and valleys, consistent with a fingerprint belonging to a Hatari male, approximately 36 cycles in age. Dried saliva. What are you doing? Spitting on a console? Like what? How do you? A pattern of saliva consistent with a sudden burst of air from the nose and mouth, likely caused by environmental irritants. Okay, so they sneezed on the console. Alright, that makes more sense. I thought they were just spitting on it. Epithelial residue. Detected the presence of cells shed from the outermost layer of skin. Indicates recent contact with the surface. And that's all our DNA.
That's enough to make the DNA profile. Time to go back to the lift. You're not coming inside?
There are some things I'd rather not smell.
Ah. What's in all these containers?
These contain mining supplies, tools, energy packs for machinery.
Shouldn't mining supplies be inside the mines?
It is troubling. If the workers here aren't mining...
It worked. Theory proven.
I'll get it started.
Ready?
I'm a little afraid of what we might find down there.
We'll be okay. I've survived worse than this.
Well, I haven't. But I'll put my faith in you. For now. Jara. No, stay back. There's a guard at the station. We'll have to hide.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
You watch your tone with me. I'm Tylus Altaris, Minister of Diplomatic Affairs. I speak for the Queen herself.
This is a restricted area. No one gains access without the approval of Galvin or Sidron.
Wait.
U.S. Gawad Abawencha.
Let me go!
Are you all right?
I don't know.
Are you injured?
No, I thought if I could talk my way through like always, I'd be fine, but... I'm a diplomat. This isn't what I do. I've never even fired a weapon. This is just... It's real now. I wasn't ready for this.
Hey, I'll keep you safe.
Can you?
I was a tactical officer before I was posted to the Resolute. I know my way around a phaser. You saw how I handled our large friend here.
I suppose that is somewhat reassuring. My authority has never been challenged like that. It meant nothing to him.
So we should assume any Hatari we encounter from here on can't be reasoned with.
Agreed. The only loyalty they have down here is to Galvin and Sidron.
Can you switch over the lift?
The guard should have a scan card that will allow us to operate the switch.
That's some serious armor.
Conditions in the mines are harsh, even for Hatari.
An Illydian disruptor.
I assume the miners took weapons from the Illydians before they fled the mines.
That explains some of how the uprising happened, but not enough.
Should we take it with us?
No. My phaser is more efficient. Unless you want it.
Oh no. Weapons aren't my thing.
Got it.
He's not dead, is he? He's still one of my people, and I didn't come here to take Hatari lives.
My phaser's set to stun. He'll be perfectly fine, just unconscious for a while.
I see. We don't have that sort of technology on our weapons.
Good to know. The energy readings are emanating from this tunnel. It's sure to be guarded in there. Stay low and follow my lead. Is that all dilithium?
Not all of it. We excavate large chunks of rock that contain varying amounts of dilithium ore. It's sorted and processed at the collector ship above.
Interesting. So they're using like the equivalent of a tractor beam to mine. Huh. All right. Is there any stuff over here of any interest? No. Guess we're going down here.
More guards.
I take that as a sign we're getting close.
I'll get a closer look. Looks like they've improvised a barrier.
Yes, we must be getting closer.
We don't have time to wait for them to finish whatever they're doing. We'll have to try to keep low and sneak past them.
I'm starting to see the utility of a phaser.
I wouldn't stand a chance against all three of them. We need that particular card, don't we?
I'm afraid so.
Can you open that door?
Not without that scan card.
I don't like our options here. I have to get us that card so we can open the door.
How? If they detect you, Galvin and Sidron's followers are clearly willing to kill to protect whatever is in this mine.
Hey, I'm trained for this. I'll be fine.
What should I do?
Avoid being seen. Stick to the edge of the room and meet me at the door.
Alright, so this looks like it's a stealth section. So we gotta be careful that we aren't spotted.
Hi Grotto. Yui, get to catch a bit more of the game.
Hey Lester, how you doing? You missed a little portion here, but not too much. We're just entering the
Any
mines.
cardboard boxes for you to use here?
Cardboard boxes. That's funny. Alright, I'm gonna... I'm gonna wait until he goes back the second time. We don't want to go guns blazing here. Not in this scene anyway. So I have beaten this game already in my other playthrough. I beat it earlier today. It is about 16 hours long for the story. So it's actually a very long game, and there's a lot of twists and turns, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's like the equivalent of a really good Star Trek movie. Like a really good Star Trek movie. The writing is phenomenal. Honestly, yeah, no, this is an amazing game. He came close there. You need to go. Perfect, that's where I want you. Over on that panel. I gotta be careful here. Okay, we got the security key.
Wow. Already? You're fast. 16 hours, so you mean a good Star Trek TV series? Impressive.
Oh, I've been addicted to this game since I got it. So and you know what? It's just got a lot of replayability because there's branching storyline based on your choices. So it definitely has a lot of replayability. But for $30, it is a really good game. Hold up. All right. We made it through successfully.
Stay close.
Stop!
What?
Motion sensors. They'll trigger an alarm. We'll be found.
Invisible to the naked eye.
They could be anywhere. How will we get through?
I mean, we can see the pattern, but I guess it's easier to just go up to one of these, scan it so that it appears on my tricorder. Motion sensor. An energetic beam used to detect motion. Avoid intersecting the beam's path.
They don't notice an old giant bay door slide open and close. Okay, comma, I'll swallow that.
Right? Yeah. Who knows? I mean, they're dumb aliens, right? Who knows? Maybe they thought it was another one of their race going in and out of the door.
Love the look the TNG era tricorders.
I do too. The Mark, I think they're the Mark III tricorders is what they're called, or Mark IV. I can't remember. But yeah, no, they're great tricorders. I've always loved them. So what? I'll just quickly go over what you missed. So basically, after the last playthrough where we ended, we took a shuttlecraft outside of the U.S.S. Resolute, and we set up probes in the area where we discovered that a beam, an invisible beam, was being beamed from a moon and hitting our ship, so that we're not able to get out of warp, out of the sector. So we are unable to leave this location, and we're kind of trapped here because of this beam. And the beam is emanating from this moon that we're on right now, where the mine is. And while this went on, while this was going on, one of the crew members found, actually, the male character that I played.
Right, cool. Thanks for the recap. We'll try to watch some of it in replay after the stream.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. That works. He's dead. He's dead, Jim. Where's a doctor when you need one? Holy shit, they're all dead.
This?
It's where the uprising started.
Between you and Stu, I've gotten used to trying to work what happened between streams I missed.
Fair enough.
That's a
there's a lot of twists and
There's
turns
no
in this
such
game.
thing
It's
as a bloodless
after seeing this.
Right? Yeah.
So much death. I don't want to end up like them.
We'll make sure they didn't die for nothing. What we learn here could save the rest of your people.
Okay.
Whatever happened here, it made the Illydians abandon the mines. Let's find out what they're
So initially my plan was to stream this game, the rest of this game later on, but then I realized that this game is really long, and honestly everybody seemed to enjoy it, so I'm going to be streaming an episode a night, basically. I'm going to be streaming roughly 2 hours every night, so until we finish it, because it honestly is a really long game, and it has a lot of twists and turns, and I think you guys are all really going to love it. So I'm going to be streaming this the rest of the week.
Otari and Illydian, both sides took a beating. Is this the effects of an Illydian disruptor?
Yes.
Disruptors are cruel weapons. These crystalline particles, they're not dilithium. Are they common in the mines?
Not that I've ever seen.
The Hatari fortified the side of the room opposite the door. It's a good tactic, but a few crates aren't going to stop fully armed Illidian soldiers. How did they win? From the blast marks, it looks like the Illidians had far greater firepower. Footprints. Illidian boots. Running back the way we came. Tylus.
What?
What
kind of weapon did this?
This is like nothing I've ever seen.
He's been turned into crystals.
My people
That's
don't
crazy.
have a weapon that does this.
What else can you tell me?
Crystal growth. Crystal growth of unknown origin lodged inside the Illidian skull emits low levels of tetrametric radiation.
Looks like it's going to be the coolest new weapon set on Star Trek Online. Haha.
Yeah, it's got a kind of a cool weapon actually. It fires crystals that end up ripping people apart. Why am I not picking anything up on this scan? Unless... No. Oh, here we go. Illidian heart. Illidians have 4 hearts. All are stopped, and the veins that feed them are clogged with quanti-spin crystallization.
They're starting to run short of weapon ideas over there, I reckon.
Could very well be. Illidian flesh. The crystals appear to have grown from inside the flesh. After initial penetration, the process ruptured several internal organs randomly. The process may not have been instantly fatal.
What an awful way to die. This must be why the Illidians are so afraid. Technology
Oh my, not a nice way to go.
in the hands of the Hatari that they've lorded over for centuries.
Where did this weapon come from?
Well, the crystals are giving off tetrametric pulses. If I set my tricorder to search for that frequency, it'll lead us right to the source.
So, the one thing I will say about this game is it's not very often that you find a Star Trek game that is so truthful, so true to the source material, and this one really is. They did a fantastic job.
This makeshift barrier forced the Illidians to enter from the service corridor, creating a choke point. Quite the advanced tactic for a species that's never waged war.
But yeah, as I was saying, so you can definitely tell that the creators of this game really know Star Trek. Like, I mean, they've got the lingo down, they've got the excellent writing down. It's honestly probably I'm gonna say it's probably up there with Star Trek 25th Anniversary, Judgment Rights, and A Final Unity, where all 3 of those were actually written by Star Trek writers. I mean, 25th Anniversary and Judgment Rights, where the scripts were done by DC Fontana, who was one of the original Star Trek writers, and then A Final Unity back then was done as well, not by DC Fontana, but a Next Generation writer. This story of this game is very similar to that kind of writing, and it's phenomenal. It's honestly, this game's really good.
Killed by the same crystallization as the Illidian.
Whose side was the killer on?
Yeah, It's always the moral and ethical dilemmas that made Star Trek stand out the most for me, especially they used to do it week after week.
You're right. The shot came from the side the Hatari were defending.
We don't kill our own. And he wasn't just caught in the middle.
Exactly, and that's what they got with this. Like, 'cause I mean, if you look at most modern Star Trek games, with the exception of Star Trek Online, as you stated, most Star Trek games, until Star Trek Online, were heavy combat oriented, which is not what Star Trek is. It kind of took Star Trek and made it into Star Wars, in that sense, and that is not what Star Trek is. So it's honestly nice to get a game like this where it's not just all about blasting everything in space. I mean, there's actual mystery, there's actually storytelling, and there's, real diplomatic events going on, and it's really nice. It's a nice change.
Tried to run.
They didn't let him.
Tylus, you may not want to look down there.
I've come too far to... What is this?
They've been dumping bodies down here.
Unforgivable. Galvin and Sidron will be made to answer for this.
Now, the reviews of this game have been great, actually. There's been a few people who have complained about it, but the few that have, I feel, aren't really Star Trek people. But a lot of praise has been given for the voice acting and the writing, which I have to agree with.
Wow, what the heck?
Ooh. It's a mine machine.
Think they parked this here on purpose?
One way to find out.
Need any help?
I've got it.
This concentration of tetrametric radiation has never been recorded. Whatever they're hiding, it's right through here.
Yeah, so we're made to believe that the other alien race are the good guys and that the Hotari are the bad guys, wherein it's the other way around. They've been tricking us. Or no, sorry, I'm wrong. It's the Hotari
the crystals are
the
increasing,
bad guys.
growing outward, replacing the soil.
It's like an infection. A parasite. Growing inside Tau.
Oh, I can't pull out my tricorder anymore. Alright, I was going to scan some of these crystals. But I guess we already have scans from them from earlier, so we already know what they are. Now, there's no way a gun is blasting all this crystal.
And then the Hotari neck chops the commander from behind. Twist.
No, she's actually on our side.
Incredible.
This is definitely not Hotari.
Slight graphical glitches
It's the
there.
remnants of the Tucana
And again, patch later on this week, so hopefully that'll get resolved.
I don't think we should be here.
This is exactly where we should be. Every strange thing we've seen in this system, it might all come from this room. We need to learn everything we can.
Oh
All
wow,
right.
thought the glitch was a cool crystalline effect. Huh.
No, there's glitches. There's a lot of glitches in the game, unfortunately, such as missing sound clips, little things. Nothing game-breaking, but little things. And the developers are already aware of it, because a lot of people told them. And they said, hey, no problem, we'll fix that up. We'll fix that up with a patch as soon as possible. So they're very willing to work with the fans of the game.
Somewhat resembles a transporter pad.
Let's do some tricorder scans, if we can. Is there anything here we can scan? Oh yes.
What are we looking at?
It's made of the same crystalline material as the rest of this place, but I can't tell much else. Might be some kind of sleep mode. I can't analyze this further unless it starts working normally.
Maybe we can turn it on from somewhere else.
Hopefully. Let's keep looking around.
Now hold on. Am I not able to scan? Okay, crystalline structure. A lattice of interlocking crystals, each with a unique shape and wavelength. Crystals range in size, with intricate fractal facets. Power levels indicate structure is inactive. Can we? I can't do different scan levels. Alright, so let's put that away. I don't know if we want to interact with that console just yet, if we don't know much about it. Yeah, let's wait on that. Let's... Actually, do you have anything to say?
How are you holding up?
I knew Galvin and Sidron were dangerous. Now I know they're more powerful than I could have imagined. But the worst of it is knowing they got there by turning our people against their own.
I mean, yeah. Your own race is plotting against you, ma'am. That's not a good thing. That's never a good thing. Ooh. A lot of stuff here. I love the level. I love the not level design. I love the designs in this game. Like the graphics are beautiful. I mean, they feel old style, like old Telltale style. Yeah, it's not like modern. It's not like next gen or anything, but still, it's really nice. All right, we got 3 anomalies here apparently. Let's do. Oh, here we go. Storage device. Empty and full slots are differently constructed. Does this solid matter change form? Crystal. Radically complex crystalline device. Purpose unknown. Are we getting anything on this scan? No. Alright, so let's switch to red. Not getting anything on red either. Is there something I'm missing on green? Alright, let's go back to blue. Oh. Can't believe I missed that.
Yeah, it's a step up from Star Trek Online, but not trying to be super detailed. Probably makes it more playable for those of us PC gamers.
Crystal radiation. Tetrametric radiation. Consistent with other devices nearby.
This suggests.
Yeah, no, it's the system specs for this are pretty good.
Within each crystal.
Life form? There's something alive in these tiny crystals?
That's what it says, but hard to imagine how that's possible. Our science division will have a field day with this. We need to study it on the ship. Crystallized lithium compounds. Its internal structure is extremely ordered. In fact, the states of these crystals on a subatomic level suggests a storage device of some kind. Energy levels are both stable and ordered, like information. Some of them appear to be depleted.
What kind of information would you deplete?
Depleted crystal. The data within this device has been depleted. Unknown how this is possible.
Device read this?
It can roughly translate the words, but we don't have enough Taconian language on record to understand how it's structured.
Oh well.
I am going to tell you this, though, and I'm not going to spoil anything, Lester, but I am going to tell you there are 2 big cameos coming up soon in this game of people who you will know from Star Trek. And I'm not talking about Spock. We already know about Spock. Interface. Apparent control surface. Unknown how to interface with the device.
It's okay. Spoiled the cameos for myself when I googled info about the game.
Oh, okay. So then you know about Will Riker? Yeah. He's actually really... Oh my god, he did a fantastic job with this. Because this takes place in the Next Generation era. And so he literally sounds exactly like he did back in the Next Generation era. He really did a great job with his voiceover work in this game. I was very impressed. Very impressed. He sounds young as hell. Lithium processor focuses energy to perform replication of matter. Weapon. Quantized spin crystallization resembles a weapon in form. May have been used on the victims in the mines. All anomalies. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, was wondering how many OG actors they would get in, considering they had to get in voice actor for Spock.
Lithium into this quantized crystalline compound. Possibly for the creation of weapons.
Do you think one of these was used on that Ilidian in the tunnels?
Such a cruel weapon.
Jara?
I see it.
What's happening?
Someone turned it on.
There's no one here. But maybe the device I saw in the palace can send a signal?
If that's the case, we may not be alone for long. Let's hurry. Look familiar?
It's almost identical to the console Galvin has hidden in the palace. It looks like a control surface.
can feel the power coming off it.
I've never seen this kind of energy before. I'll need to record this with my tricorder.
Control surface. Apparent control surface lacking any known markings or input devices. Tetrametric radiation. Tetrametric radiation flowing upward into other parts of this chamber. Levels too diluted to record.
She can feel power? Did I miss the part where they explain Hotari have some sort of Jedi Force sensing powers?
I don't think she means it like that. Crystalline structure. Crystalline structure connected to many energy conduits. Its internal construction defies known laws of physics.
This can't be right. It's putting out almost 50 zetajoules of energy.
I assume that's a lot?
It would make sense though. That would make them perfect to mine energy crystals. Haha.
It's the cause of the storm. The warp disrupting beam, all of it.
What do we do now?
So basically, the ion storm
They have to know about
is
this.
man-made.
Come on, let's...
It's deliberate. It's all deliberate. This is all an attack. This entire peace treaty, blah blah. It's all a front. It's all an attack. It's all a start for a war. Yeah. So basically, yeah, we fell in. As Admiral Akbar would say, it's a trap.
This is outrageous! I demand you let me go!
No need to complain. You're about to receive a gift beyond your wildest imagination. If anything, I consider it an honor.
Ha ha ha. Yes, it's a trap. Cool plot twist, cool writing.
What is that? What are you doing?
You'll see soon enough.
I can influence the course of the negotiation. I can make sure the Hotari get the better end of the bargain.
So can I.
Oh, we're in sickbay now.
I know we're chatting over it, but the music also has a real TNG feel to it.
Oh yeah, no. So the music is done by Jared Emerson Johnson, who did all of the music in all the Telltale games. He was Telltale's former composer. Telltale Games' former composer. He did a fantastic job, yes.
Dr. Duval must not be back yet. She'll get better. She has to.
I like the sickbay. I like the I gotta say I really love the style of everything in this game. Like, it's kind of a mix between Next Generation and Voyager, which is really nice. What do you have to say, Edsolar?
The doc's on her way here to check Miranda out. We did the right thing, bringing her here. She was off, from as soon as she came off the shuttle. Talking about a distress call?
I just want to make sure she's okay. This isn't like her.
We'll get her fixed up. You should talk to her. Keep her spirits up.
And to think, yesterday I couldn't wait to get back on the Resolute. To get back to see you. You can't imagine how stupid I feel right now. I can't even believe it myself.
You're not stupid. Not by a long shot. We'll figure out what's happening. And we'll get you fixed up.
I'd like to believe that. I'm scared, Carter. I don't want to find out that there's something really wrong with me. Something they can't fix, or even explain. I'm really scared.
You're in good hands here. There's not a lot that Starfleet Medical doesn't have an answer for.
I'm not so sure about that. They don't know everything.
There she is. It's good that you brought her here. Petty Officer Maris and the rest of the security away team skipped the bioscan when they came back from Otari. And they've been impossible to track down since. We don't know what kind of pathogens they might have picked up.
Is that going to...
Sit still. This will just take a moment.
You're looking at me like I'm some kind of science experiment. Or a monster. It's kind of freaking me out.
I don't know how, but I'll make it up to you. I promise.
You can't sweet-talk your way out of this, Carter.
What is it? A pathogen?
No. That's not Petty Officer Miranda Maris. I don't know who that is, but it's not Miranda. I know that sounds hyperbolic, but that's the simplest way to put it.
Are you sure?
What? Then who is it?
I couldn't begin to say right now, but comparing the baseline readings I'm getting here with the DNA and brainwave records in Miranda's 15501, well, I'm seeing impossible variations. I guess you could call the process bioforming. This bot is Miranda.
Wow, another cool twist.
Something else.
Yep.
What's more troubling is
there's a lot of weird shit going on in this game all at
layer
once.
On top of her baseline brain scans. Miranda isn't in control. Someone else is.
That explains a lot. But it's not the explanation I wanted to hear.
There's no sugarcoating in my sickbay.
But the real Miranda's still in there. It's on top of her personality, but she's not completely gone.
The new brain patterns have overwhelmed her baseline. If her engrams are still there, it's at the level of background noise right now. I want to take some functional readings. Take this and get her talking while it scans her.
I'm sure you don't want to speculate, Doc, but is there anything?
I don't want to be incinerated as biohazard. I don't know why I did it. Any of it.
Hold on, what? A circulatory organ, a 4-chamber circulatory pump. Higher than average circulatory displacement is detected. So she's got 4 chambers in her heart. See, she's turning into a Hotari? She is a Hotari in disguise. Synaptic cluster. Anomalous synaptic frequencies detected. Beta wave and delta wave. Output outside established norms. Yeah, she's turning into an alien. Or she is an alien. That's,
ERM, the human heart has 4 chambers.
No, I know. But it's separating. Average circulatory displacement. It's separating into an alien heart is what I'm saying. Is what I'm trying to get at. Because remember when we scanned the alien on the planet and it had 4 separate parts of their heart? Her heart is starting to separate into what that heart is. That's what I'm trying to say. She is turning into one of them. So I'm assuming she was shot at with something when she was on the planet earlier on in the game. Or something. Something happened to her when she was on the planet and it's mutating her.
But it's like there's a voice in my head. It was telling me to go download the data. It told me not to let you stop me.
Oh, okay.
I could do to say no. But I didn't want to. I swear.
So this voice in your head, what else does it tell you?
It's not like a conversation. It's hard to explain. Well, I still can. I just want to say, Carter, I'm sorry. I really am. I hope you know that.
You don't need to apologize. You just need to get better.
I'll be better than ever.
What the?
What the hell?
Back off!
How did...
Computer, erect a force field between biobeds 2 and 3.
Jesus Christ.
Computer, lower force field!
You do not have authorization.
Well, that's not gonna
I
do
just
anything.
want to live.
Jesus.
I have a right to exist.
Give Miranda back!
1 sec. Go. I'm right behind you.
Osmia Kellam Kalujo.
What? She's turned... She's turned the crew.
It's not in the Universal Translator.
Holy shit.
Is that some kind of transporter pad?
The drive!
Who the hell are you?
We are scions of the flame.
They can't get away with that. You have to shoot Miranda. Scions of the Flame? I don't like the sound of that.
never gonna
Were
believe
those phasers set to stun?
the Universal Translator didn't recognize that language is because it's only ever been read. It's the Takan language.
I would assume. No. You mean their phasers? The enemies? No, they're set to kill. Ours were set to stun.
We'll burn your planet to the ground. Animals. Wait. No.
Rise, brother. Rejoin the flame.
Oh my god, that's how they're doing it. That's the crystal.
This can only mean our time has come.
Okay.
I'm only sorry I could...
Okay, so Miranda was attacked by one of those aliens with the crystal. They jammed it into the base of her neck, and they were able to control her. Because they're doing the exact same thing with this alien. So this guy's the one doing it.
All in good time. This is only the beginning.
They're working together? An Elidian and a Hotari?
They did something to him.
Secure the Cartabulum.
Cartabula?
It's the energy source.
Spread out. Search the vault. Go back through the mine. Cut off their escape. Find them.
Time to go. We're trapped. They're blocking the only exit.
Maybe not. Can you buy me some time?
For what?
This vehicle looks a lot tougher than that barrier.
Shoot the Hotari woman!
Shit! Alright, let's try that again. Do I have to watch this all again from the beginning? Damn.
Whoa. Hectic.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of shooting phaser fire in this game as the game goes on. It's not all adventure, but There is a lot
Can
of
you buy me
adventure.
some time?
For what?
This vehicle looks a lot tougher than that barrier.
Alright, let's try this again.
Federation fools.
Oh, damn it, every time. Alright, this bastard there always keeps on getting me. Oh. Oh, they're shooting in bursts of 3. Alright, so... I'm probably gonna die this time, but...
woman!
Yeah, they're shooting in bursts of 3, so... Take you out first. Take you out. Damn it. What does retry in story mode mean? I am in story mode. What? What does that mean? Does that mean I can bypass it? I don't understand. I don't like cheating in games. At least when I can avoid it anyway.
We're trapped. They're blocking the only exit.
If I die here, I'll retry in story mode. See what that does.
No.
But
Can you buy me
I
some
don't
time?
For
know
what?
if that's gonna do anything.
This vehicle looks a lot tougher than that barrier.
Oh, what story mode would be easier difficulty, I would assume. Actually, now that I think about it, that's probably what it means. Gotcha. Herein comes the hard part, because once she's up there, she's more vulnerable. And a lot of these guys start attacking her at once. Damn it. Did I get... Oh, good. Nice. Alright.
Jara! Jara!
Jesus, could you at least wait until I get on the damn thing?
Hold on to something.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh my god, they're everywhere.
Don't stop. I'll handle them.
Shoot the one driving the machine!
We're surrounded.
I'll get it working. I just need some time.
She has a lot of health.
Here we go.
Okay, now I get it. So all I need to focus on are the guys that are about to attack her. The rest, it doesn't matter. Alright. That's why I was screwing it up so much earlier. Is that you just have to focus on the ones who are actually going in for the kill. That makes sense.
The lift. We're trapped.
Resolute, 2 to beam up immediately. Resolute, come in.
Jara!
Haha, breaking over the edge of the cliff trope.
Are you alright?
I think so. It hurts. What are you doing?
Hold on to me.
Commander, we read you, but there's too much interference. Transporters still can't get a lock.
Okay, that was pretty cool.
Miranda was able to transport through the storm. There has to be some path through that we're not seeing.
Tetrametric radiation is saturating our sensors. There is too much interference to pick up the residual transporter signature.
Wait. Tetrametric radiation. Of course. I can align the transporter with the tetrametric signature. The crystals emit tetrametric
Beam me up, Scotty.
3.8422 seconds, roughly 26 centihertz. All of this is connected. The storm.
Hey Lewis, how are you doing this evening? I hope you're doing good.
Miranda's alien transporter tech.
We're in the thick of it in Star Trek Resurgence. I'm probably going to end the stream soon because we are over 2 hours, but I'll do a little tiny bit more for you. But I am going to be streaming this game every night at the same time, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the rest of the week.
There are a lot of biosigns in that mine, all stacked on top of each other.
Just as a heads up.
I need something to identify the commander signal. Something loud, energetic.
Understood. Commander Rydek, we have penetrated the storm's interference, but we are unable to pinpoint your signature. We need you to generate a high-energy event to help us...
High-energy event. Got it. Tylus, are you still with me?
I am.
Good. I'm going to shoot my phaser at some dilithium to cause a piezoelectric rupture.
What? Why?
Signal flare. These crystals have to be pure enough.
Going great. I like that the game got better.
Come on. Damn it. No good. Too small.
Oh no, the game is really damn good. I already beat it under my main account. I beat it today. It's about 16... The game's about 16 hours in length. Roughly, yeah. About 16 hours in length. There is space battles, there's shooting,
Is that energetic enough?
There's literally... Oh, there's so much. It's so good. Honestly, it feels like a really good Star Trek movie. It's fantastic. I'm very, very happy with it. So we need to clear off all the debris. And get a lock.
I've got their biosigns isolated.
Commander, we have your signal.
I'm gonna tunnel a path through the ionic interference. I've got a path. Just gotta calibrate the signal.
This part is always annoying, so we have to get these signal bars as high as we can, because that is how we, this is our transporter power, basically. There, we got it. Got it.
I've got a lock. Energize.
Ah, I love this. This is so cool. You never got to do any of this in previous Star Trek games.
Officer Diaz.
We're losing her. The pattern is degrading. Can you hold the signal?
I'm trying. I got it. Come on, come on. Yes!
Get her to sickbay.
Captain Solano and Ambassador Spock have just returned from Hotari.
Take a look at that.
Rydek, I need you on the bridge, now.
I'm here.
The Elydians are preparing to attack Hotari.
Status report.
The systems are now fully powered. All torpedo tubes open.
They're preparing to fire.
We should hail the Elydian flagship, Captain.
Readying phasers if you want them.
Stand by. Await my order. Recommendation, Commander? We need to act quickly. Before this spirals out of control.
Hail the Elydians. Maybe we could talk some sense into them.
Hail them.
No response.
Try it again.
Still nothing.
The Elydians. They've powered down their weapons.
Odd. You sure about that, Mr. Ermont?
They're venting some kind of gas from their ship. Hold on. Now all of their systems have shut down.
That's unexpected.
Commander Ermont, scan them again. We have to be sure.
No mistaking it. They're dead in the water.
What's happening?
There's an energy dampening field coming from Tau.
Take us out of range.
Aye, Captain.
Captain, the flagship is hailing us.
On screen.
Zeldy to the starship Resolute. Our main power cores are completely disabled. The more power we give, the more it takes. Running off batteries. Life support systems have failed. Unable to ventilate. Contaminated atmosphere.
Admiral, you are about to launch an attack on a defenseless planet.
Kobliat, you sided with the Hotari in the negotiation. But that does not matter now. My crew is going to die. Please, I beg of you. You must render assistance. System failures are compounding around my ship.
You're the aggressors. Why should we help you?
We were not going to fire. We were posturing.
The Hotari aren't posturing.
It was just a show of force to move the negotiations forward. You're not going to leave us to die, are you?
No, we are not. Admiral, excuse us while we devise a rescue plan.
By my estimate, the crew only have 23 minutes before their atmospheric mix becomes lethal.
While we may not be able to transport the Elydians directly, if we were to transport them from their ship to a nearby shuttlecraft, it should be possible to amplify the transporter signal there and reroute it to the Resolute.
The Ambassador's plan is incomplete. An away team will have to beam aboard the Zeldi and set up pattern enhancers for a stable enough signal out of the dampening field.
Thank you for identifying my deficiency, Commander Chovak.
Jara, I need a senior officer in command of this. Take Chovak and Bedrosian in the shuttle, and get it done.
Petty Officers Diaz and Edselar, you will be part of the rescue mission. As will I. We will bring the shuttle within transporter range of the Zeldi, then beam you both aboard.
Beam us on board. Why?
The pattern enhancers must be placed on the Zeldi to make it possible to beam the Elydians back to the Resolute. Gather the pattern enhancers, and get to the docking bay.
We're going on the wrong mission.
Oh, what's that?
We're going to rescue the Elydians, the people that oppress the Hotari, when we should be going to rescue Miranda. This thing that's happened to Miranda is like the Trill symbiosis joining, only worse. And I've seen too many people I care about wiped away by some greater entity to stand by while the same thing happens to her. I wanted no part of it then, and I won't stand for it now. Their bodies stolen and used like puppets.
I'm not giving up on her either. We'll get her back.
Whatever it takes.
Right now, we've got other lives to save.
Yeah.
The away team is ready.
Resolute to Shuttlecraft Melville. You're cleared for takeoff.
Acknowledged, Resolute. Melville taking off.
Alright, now we gotta... Where's my... Okay, there's my waypoint. So we need to avoid all of these obstacles by flying in the middle of them and not hitting any of the green lightning or... Basically, we're avoiding as many obstacles as we can while we get to our destination. And this is the first time I've ever seen a Star Trek game where you actually get to fly in a shuttlecraft, so that's really cool. I can appreciate this. So one thing I like about this game is they kind of took everything that people ever wanted to do in a Star Trek game and kind of put it in. Whether it be messing around in engineering with things, using pattern enhancers on planets, messing around with your tricorder. They really thought of everything. Where's my, wait a minute. Where's my waypoint? Okay.
We are within range. Any closer will put the shuttlecraft at risk. Preparing to transport the away team. Energizing.
The ship's life support. It's almost completely drained.
And the other systems, too.
Oh no.
We gotta get to their transporter room.
All right, I think this is where a good spot to end the stream right here. So we're going to end the stream right here. We will continue on tomorrow at the same time, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to see more of this tomorrow, by all means, tune in. Thank you very much to Lewis for tuning in, to Lester Sis, and Aaron Blair. So thank you to all three of you for tuning in tonight, and greatly appreciate it. I hope you guys are enjoying this game as much as I am. I think it's a fantastic game. I do love the branching story, so
thanks for the stream. We will see you tomorrow.
Absolutely, Lewis. Thank you very much for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. Glad to have you here. So, as I was saying, that the branching storyline is really great. It allows for a lot of replayability because choices that you made your first playthrough, you won't necessarily make your second playthrough, which means that the story will deviate, just like in most Telltale Games in the past. So there is a lot of replayability, a lot of interesting changes that you can make in your story based on how you play. So all in all, great game. I'm loving it so far. Obviously, there's sound glitches here, graphical glitches there. But again, as I said, the developers know about it and will be patching it as soon as possible. But that's it for me tonight, guys. I hope you had fun. For those of you who missed the first part of the stream, you can now check it out in my playlist section under Star Trek Resurgence. So check that out. Check out the joint collaboration section as well to see where I have helped YouTubers such as Stu from Stu's Game Reviews and Ola from Ola Productions with their streams. As well, the Pirates of the Geek Vortex podcast is also in the playlist section. So if you missed any of those podcasts, which run at 10:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Friday, where we discuss the newest TVs, movies, video games, TV shows, comics, board games, all that kind of stuff. So if you missed any of those podcasts, you can check them out in the playlist section for Pirates of the Geek Vortex. And that's it for me, guys. I hope you had a wonderful time. This game is getting really twisty and turny, and there's a lot more coming. So check back here again tomorrow at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time to see the continuation of Star Trek Resurgence. Take care once again, guys. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you soon.